Hey, Espresso lovers, Marc here from Whole Latte Love, and I have Andrew Meo from Rocket Espresso here. And Andrew, what are we looking at?
Today we're looking at the R91. That's R and then the word 9 and the word 1.
Not the number 9, not the
No,
number.
because the R9, number 9, actually is a commercial machine we produce with the same technology.
Now, speaking of commercial machines, this kind of comes out of your commercial division, right? But intended more for home and light commercial use, maybe?
So, I guess the idea behind the R91 was to make a machine using our fully saturated group that we use on a commercial product. So this particular machine is a dual boiler machine, so a service boiler, and then the coffee boiler. And the coffee boiler is connected directly to the group. So unlike E61 machines that make up the majority of the premium domestic market, this has got a fully saturated group, which gives us better stability.
Now, I first saw this back in, end of July, because we visited your facility in Italy, outside Milan, right? And we went to where you actually build your commercial machines, the multi-group machines, and this is where that machine is built, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And we've just come, you were over this morning, you've got Matteo here who's in the background there, hi Matteo, who took our service techs through some factory certified training on the R91, how to diagnose anything and take care of anything, right? And set them up before we ship them, because we do that with all the machines, so.
Yeah, this level of product is arguably got more technology in it than a lot of commercial espresso machines. So, you know, it's obviously quite important. Dealer support for a machine like this is, in our opinion, very, very important, that the dealer knows how to fix it. And especially in a country like the US, where the machine might be, you know, shipped many miles away, it's important when the customer gets on the phone and it's just be able to be talked through a feature that they didn't really understand or you know, similar.
Now we're gonna brew and we're gonna steam on this, and I don't even think we've really hit what the really, you know, one of the big key features in this, pressure profiling, but kind of special. Tell us about it.
Well, this is the third machine we've built with pressure profiling. We've used various different systems. This one is very sophisticated and arguably the best solution. So this uses a magnetic pump. On all our product that's got pressure profiling, we have a 5-step system, meaning you can adjust the time interval across the shot over 5 different time intervals and assign a pressure to each of those 5 different time intervals. So, for instance, we could have an extraction of 30 seconds at 9 bar, or we could have 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds with 3 bar, 4 bar, 5 bar, 6 bar, 9 bar. So we've got a lot of flexibility with what we can do. And that, we feel this is possibly, pressure profiling is possibly better than some of the pre-infusion machines, because you've got the flexibility to give a really low pump pressure to the coffee, which is in effect pre-infusion. So low pressure, low water flow on the coffee, or you can, and then ramp up, and conversely you can ramp down when the puck of coffee is starting to get all washed out. Why are you still pushing 9 bar pump pressure through that? You can reduce that pump pressure and, you know, less likely to bring all the, you know, spent coffee flavors into the cup.
So you can create like 5 different
up
profiles
to 5,
like
yeah.
that. But
but inside the machine you've also got 5 different programs stored plus a manual version.
Right, and that's what I wanted to get to, is the manual version. So I load up my portafilter, I do it in, and I can go totally manual that pressure.
Yeah.
And
Do you want to go
and watch it?
Well,
we'll do that in a minute.
Yeah.
I just want to talk. But so you can go totally manual, and if you like hit it just right, and you love that what you just did, you can then save that, right?
So what this machine has, it's got a potentiometer in the actuator here. So the more we turn it, the more pressure we've got. Okay, that then so therefore we can start off with it ramping up and then ramp back down. And if we like that profile, we can save it and recall that profile again later.
So it's kind of recording your moves as you do them in a way.
If you choose to save that.
If you choose to save that one.
Yeah.
I thought that was really neat. So let's talk about some of the other plumbable machine, right?
Yep. So we've got hard plumbing, or we've got the water reservoir. Lever steam wand. Obviously the profile system. Nice feature on this machine is the hot water mixer, cold water mixer. So if the machine's plumbed in, we can change the temperature of the outlet of the hot water. So we're not making an Americano with boiling hot water.
That's pretty unique. I haven't seen that on really any other domestic.
We use it.
machines.
We use it again on a commercial
feature.
feature. Yeah, commercial feature. So.
Nice. So, and I know it ships with a bottomless portafilter, a single and a double.
Yep,
right?
single, double, and bottomless.
And bottomless. Yep. And an actual nice tamper, right?
Yep, the nice.
We were talking earlier about, and dual boilers and descaling and that kind of thing, and you really don't recommend that these be descaled, right?
Well, personally, we think that you shouldn't descale an espresso machine. You should be very vigilant about the water you put into the machine, filtered, and then you should use the Rocket Espresso water reservoir filter, and that eliminates should eliminate all the scale. Okay. The trouble with descaling most domestic product is you can't get all the water out of the boiler, so therefore you can on this particular machine.
Right.
But on most machines in this category, you can't get the water out of the boiler. That means you've got descaling solution still floating around in the boiler, and it's probably going to end up being consumed, which is, in our opinion, not desirable. So.
And then if you're going to use the machine plumbed, you really do recommend a pressure regulator, right?
Yeah, well,
on that.
Again, you would use a decent filtration system, and you would, on this machine, you want to limit your line pressure, probably want to set it as low as possible, because that gives you more flexibility with the profiling system, because line pressure will overcome pump pressure, obviously. Right. So if you've got line pressure of 5 bar and you're trying to operate the machine on 2 bar, for example, you're still going to have 5 bar because because the pressure's higher than the pump pressure.
Great. Okay, so why don't, anything else, because I do want to go around and see, like the functions of the screen here, but anything else we should know about the origin story. Why did you make the R91?
I guess we see a market in high-end espresso equipment. There's several machines in this category. There's a number of things, I guess. One is it's a design exercise for us. It's really great to be able to put a machine on the market that we believe is up there or surpasses some of the better machines that have been produced. And we can utilize all that technologies we've learnt with commercial machines too. That's really it, I guess.
All right, so Andrew, we've moved around front. We want to talk a little bit about the saturated group.
Okay, difference between the saturated group is exactly what it says it is, fully saturated group. That means we've got a boiler system that's completely full of water. Normally what we call the premium domestic category, the machines all use the E61 group, okay? Developed by FAIMA in the 60s, hence the E61 group.
Right.
There, we've got a boiler and we've got a group. We have a pipe going from the boiler to the group and a pipe going from the group back to the boiler. So that creates a thermosiphon system with the water continually rotating through from the boiler through the group and back in, continually going round and round, okay? With the fully saturated group, we've got a boiler and then we bolt onto the front of it, the group, or like that. So the whole lot is completely full of water.
So it's a big connection between the two, not just a pipe like you get in a thermosiphon in an E61.
So we've got a much bigger capacity of water. The idea behind that is we get better stability because we've got a mass of water that we're keeping at a constant temperature as opposed to a smaller amount of water that we're trying to keep at the same temperature.
All right, Andrew, take us through the touch screen here and everything.
Okay, touch screen. We've got 3 screens available on the machine. So here we're in the corner here we're showing the profile setting we're on. So we've got 5 profile settings, A to E, okay? Then we've got the manual setting. So with the 5 pre-programmed settings that are stored in the memory of the machine. Okay. Now we're on manual, and the actuator becomes a potentiometer. So the more we turn it, the more pressure we've got, the less pressure we've got. You can see that on the gauge there. Okay. So we can control the machine manually.
So up here you're getting a graph of, or we got a graph of our pressures, and
Exactly.
you got
Do you want to
reading
see
on the
that
flow
again?
meter. Yeah,
Okay,
let's take a look at that.
So here we
and
go.
time.
We've got the pressure going on. There we've got the time. We've got the pressure. Okay, so now when we ramp it up, okay, we see the pressure increase.
And we've got no coffee in here right now, so
no.
we're throwing all kinds of water up to about
Yeah.
130 milliliters, which you never do. But
Exactly.
and then now if you got your God shot on that,
Okay,
just
now
operating
we
manual
go
it.
click. Oh, last profile saved. Okay,
Right.
and now if we want to recall that profile, we go back to our star. And now it'll run the profile. Obviously, we wasn't set up
Right.
properly, but it will run the profile that we told it to. See, now it's following that last manual extraction we performed.
And since I'm all on the screen, you can't see that, but you're not adjusting the potentiometer at all
Exactly.
here up
Yeah.
top.
Now we've just got it as a switch.
Right. It's
Okay.
just a switch. Okay.
So then, so that's the profile side of the machine. Here is our hot water tap. Okay, dropping the hot water out there. Go through. Sorry, back to here. Okay, here we've got. So that's the main screen where we operate the machine from. It shows us what's happening in real time. Shows us the extraction. Then from here we've got the variables that we can change. So we can, for instance, we can go back into our pressures. We can set over the 5 time intervals the 5 different pressures. So as I said, we can have one step of 30 seconds at 9 bar, or we can have divide that extraction into 5 time intervals and put a corresponding pressure to it. So we can do all that.
So you could go in here and edit
any
these
profile.
any
Yeah.
way
So
you want.
you can see at the top we've got profile A. So we can edit profile A, B, C, D, etc., etc.
Right.
Okay, save, click. Okay, here we've got the temperatures. So coffee boiler temperature, service boiler temperature. Okay, so obviously because it's a twin boiler machine, we can separate the two. We can have high pressure without it affecting the temperature of coffee water.
And this is all PID?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go out of that. Then over here we've just got the counter, how many coffees we would make. Okay. Here we've got the warning page. So for instance, if we had a sonder go down, a temperature probe go down, or even the water reservoir runs out of water, the light will flash. And we can go in there and we can read what the fault code was.
Okay.
Okay. Here we can turn off the service boiler. So now we've got an espresso machine. We haven't got any hot water or steam. Here we go, this is sort of the control menu where we can choose to run it from tank or water reservoir. We can change the language, okay. And Fahrenheit and Celsius for
Celsius for the rest of the world.
Exactly, yeah. And back to tank and reservoir. What haven't we covered? And then over here we've got the clock that we can set. We can also set an auto on off. So we can set the machine up to come on in the morning, turn off when you go to work, on again at night, and off when you go to bed. So we can set that up.
Okay, Andrew, so we're at this screen here now, and this is volumetric, right?
Yep.
Tell us about that.
Now we've got a volumetric control where we can either use a single cup or a double cup. So that's generally using the double cup for the double portafilter, the single for the single portafilter.
Right.
What that does is through a flow meter measures the amount of water we want in the cup. So generally a double espresso would be 50 to 60 mils. So we would program this that when we start it, it will
Deliver
draw
that amount of water.
60 mils of water, exactly, and then it would stop automatically. As it's not set, I'm going to stop it.
And it's going to use the pressure profile that you have currently set up.
Yeah,
basically.
and then that pressure profile is, if you're going to use a volumetric setting, you have to set it up for that pressure profile.
Right.
Okay, because the different profile will have a different flow of water, so that we need to program that to each profile.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, so I'm here with Andrew from Rocket. And he kind of challenged me to try to do some latte art on his new machine here.
So we're here with the R91, and we're going to see what Todd's got up his sleeve.
Yeah, we'll give it a good shot. And we're using the Shadow E37K grinder. This is really the first time we're using it. It's fresh off the boat, so this is kind of fun to get this thing dialed in. And as I know you probably all know watching this is a really cool pressure profiling machine where we can control the pressure here. So we're going to do it manually, and maybe with some advice from Andrew as we go through here. So we'll start with real low pressure.
So on the manual mode, the further we turn the actuator, the more pressure we've got. So Todd's starting with a big long pre-infusion. You can see the shot timer there, and he's got basically 1 bar of pressure, just under. Now he's cranking it up, okay, 4.57 bar, okay. And the grind might be a bit fine, but
this is for demonstration purposes only.
okay, not for human consumption.
No.
Okay. Okay, we can see that we're at 30 seconds there. We're still at the 10 bar. We could, now he's ramping down a little bit, ramping down, and cutting the shot off. Yeah.
Really nice frothing pressure on this, and it's really easy to adjust the pressure you're getting. So it's a nice big commercial boiler in this, so you don't run out of pressure with this for your any high-end home use, even light commercial, Andrew?
Yeah, no, perfect for that sort of thing. Somebody who's got a small business that wants a high-end coffee program, sort of thing's perfect for that.
Really nice creamy froth. So the question is, well, the machine did good. Can I do good? Let's see.
Well,
Oop.
apart from the spill on the carpet, perfect.
Other than that, everything is just fine. Kind of holding out in front of the camera doesn't work so good. Anyway, so that's what the machine can do. Beautiful machine. And I really love frothing with this. Gets really good pressure. The way the 2-hole tip on this works really well. Easy to control. So yeah, we really like this one.
Want to learn more? Subscribe now so you'll know about the latest videos on everything coffee from Whole Latte Love.